Welcome to the conversation on the TYT network. We got a great guest you guys might be familiar with right now. It's Richard Ojeda, retired Major Richard Ojeda. And he's, of course, a state senator in West Virginia, ran for Congress in the last cycle, closed at 37 points in that district, which is the biggest margin that any Democrat in the country closed. Ran for Senate, but lost in the primaries this time around to another good progressive, Paula Jean Swearengin, who's now the main candidate there. But now he is the national spokesperson for No Dem Left Behind. So Richard, welcome back to the Young Turks, brother.
Hey, Cenk, thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, as you know, of course, we loved your campaign in 2018 when we showed all those ads and we said that you were going to do a lot better than any Democrat that would normally run in those areas, and you did. That was a plus 49 Trump district, and you closed that 37 points. So what is No Dem Left Behind, and what lessons can they learn from the kind of campaign that you ran?
Well, No Dem Left Behind, we are a group that goes into the red rural districts, and we support people that are trying to flip red seats to blue. We have some amazing candidates, and I'm absolutely, when I say all you have to do is check out our candidates and you are gonna like what you see. And we know that if people check out our candidates, they're gonna wanna donate to our candidates. They're just amazing, wonderful people. We've got doctors, we've got veterans. We've got a wide group of different folks out there, and they're all just absolutely equally amazing. And we think that we may be able to flip a few seats from red to blue here.
And first of all, actually give us the website real quick, Richard. How can the people find the candidates?
They can go to nodemleftbehind.com and they can check all of our candidates out. And once again, like I said, if you check them out, you're gonna like what you see.
How many candidates do you guys have that you're supporting?
Right now we have 12 candidates. I'm pretty sure it's 12 candidates.
And what's the criteria you're using? Is it just a good candidate in a really red district, or does it depend on how the candidate's campaigning?
Well, first and foremost, it's we check out the candidate and we like their background. We look at their platform. If we like what we see, then we jump on board and we support them. Like I said, we actually have just now established a PAC. And we're very pleased to do this because we want to make sure that we can help people out there and we can show them and we can help provide training for them so that they know that they can win in red districts. And we want to make people out there who live in red rural districts that are scared of running. We want them to know that there's a group out there that absolutely supports their efforts. And if we can get linked up, we want to do everything in our power to help them.
And I've seen a lot of great people. Kim Mango running, yes, Kevin McCarthy. I'm just not necessarily naming the candidates you guys have, but folks I've run into running in pretty red districts, but I still think are winnable. The reason I give that example is Kevin McCarthy is the leader of the Republicans in the House, but his district has a ton of Latino voters. And if you could register folks to vote, he's actually beatable. Pam Keith is a great candidate in Florida and a very winnable seat there. She's a veteran. Kim Mango's a veteran, et cetera. So lots of great Democrats out there in red districts. So in terms of how you help support them, what does the organization provide for these candidates that might be helpful?
Well, we absolutely help them and we get them recognition. We've been doing these live town halls, which of course you're gonna do this Thursday with us. We've recently did one with Andrew Yang. Chelsea Handler, Sarah Cooper. We've been running these events and we're starting to really pick up a lot of momentum. And that's the best part, is that now people are starting to learn and know what No Dem Left Behind is. And now we're starting to get the momentum that we really believe is needed to be able to highlight our candidates. We have some absolutely amazing candidates. Devin Pandy that's running in Georgia's 9th district. If you give this guy some time, you're gonna like what you see. Tom Pausewicz is running up in Wisconsin. I think it's the 1st district. Once again, spot on with everything that they say. And we really believe that if people get the opportunity to see our candidates, they are going to like what they see and then they're going to support.
normally in red districts, Democrats run as Republicans, and it never works out. So how about your guys? Are you giving them? Is the organization giving them advice, and what kind of advice are you giving on how to run politically?
Yeah, it's plenty of advice, plenty of advice. But we tell our people to be themselves. Our folks are fighting for Medicare for all. Our folks are fighting to end Citizens United. And the thing is that if you listen to our candidates speak, I mean, they're amazing, and they literally are amazing. We got a guy that's Rob Anderson that's running against Clay Higgins down in Louisiana, and I'm telling you right now, he's a ball of fire. Anybody who listens to him gets excited by him, and I believe he can win. We've got a lot of people that are running in this country that are Republicans, that are members of Congress, that a lot of people now are really starting to frown upon. Most of these people, they're too scared to stand up and say what needs to be said. They're absolutely just following Trump. And I think that now a lot of people are starting to see that that's absolutely not the way to go. I think people are waking up in this country.
In fact, a couple of examples there. Again, I'll go back to Pam Keith, who used to be a Just Democrat last time around, and so she got 40% of the vote in her primary, lost by 20 points, and the establishment thought they were done with her. This time around, they run someone who is better financed against her in the primary. Boom, she beats them by like 60 points or something. So when you run a second time, it makes a giant difference, and now she has a very good chance of beating the Republican in that race, because she's actually gonna run as a Democrat instead of as a Republican, which is what a lot of the Democratic establishment does. Anyway, in Kara Eastman in Nebraska, that used to be a red seat, but now it's a toss-up or even leaning Kara Eastman. So even if the candidates that Richard's telling you about don't win this time around, you helping them this time around might help them win in extraordinary circumstances. There's that blue wave surge, but if not, they still have a much better chance next time around.
And that's what we said. We've said that. Look, if you're not successful now, but you're building momentum, we start on November the 4th, and we continue going. We have Mia Mason, who's running in Maryland's 1st district. She's the first female transgender Democratic nominee. And I'll tell you, she's amazing. And once again, we continue this momentum. If we lose, we dust ourselves off and we get back in the fight on November the 4th.
The other day, we covered a story about how Bernie Sanders is advising Joe Biden's team. For God's sake, talk about the $15 minimum wage. You're in favor of it. We're not asking you to change any policy, and you'll double the wages of a lot of people, and there's millions of people in this country. So talk about some sort of policies that are a positive reason to vote for you. And now it's not being well received, of course. The establishment is saying, oh, look at that, it's gonna take away energy, et cetera. So I'm curious what your take is, given that these candidates are in red districts. Do you tell them to talk about $15 minimum wage or shy away from topics like that?
I mean, if that's something that they believe and that they're for, they're speaking that. I mean, first and foremost, we know that minimum wage and wages in general have remained stagnant for far too long. And it just amazes me how so many people, especially your Republicans, are willing to accept the garbage that's being fed to them from the top. And it's like they're just gonna go ahead and accept it. I mean, anybody out here should know trickle down economics doesn't work. Trickle up economics will work. If we give money to the people at the bottom, it's gonna end up in the people's hands at the top, but at least it's gonna go through the people at the bottom and make their lives better.
Out of the campaigns that you have run, including the successful one to become a state senator, and the ones where you close big leads in very, very red districts, what are the top lessons you learned that whether it's No Dem Left Behind or any Democratic candidate running in a red district, what would you tell them?
You got to get out there. Let me tell you something. The majority of Republicans don't want to debate. The majority of Republicans don't go out there and get in the faces of the voters. Our people do. And I'll tell you right now, that means a lot. When I ran for Congress, I couldn't get a debate because once again, they didn't want to talk about that. My opponent hid from everybody. We make sure our opponents are not opponents, but we make sure that our people are out there in the eyes of everybody, so that if people see them, you can talk to them. If you talk to them, you're going to like them.
Richard referred to town hall that I'm going to be doing this week. So make sure you check that out. It is to highlight the candidates and also talk about important issues. So if you want to find out more, you can do it at tyt.com/JankTownHall. I will have the link in the description box below too. That's Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, and we want to make sure that we got that for you guys before the campaigns went any further. So, Richard, as we run out of time here, any last thoughts on how people can support these candidates and your organization?
Yeah, please go to NoDemLeftBehind.com and donate. You know, every single, I mean, let me tell you something. It's going to go to a absolute worthy cause. We're going to turn these seats from red to blue eventually, but hopefully we can turn them in this next race.
There's a potential giant blue wave coming this time around, so it could lead to immediate victories as well. So I love that you guys are in every state and every district. That's how we got to do it. No Dem Left Behind. Richard I was going to Richard Airborne. Richard Ojeda, thank you for joining us. Airborne.
Thanks, brother. Airborne.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.